Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, there's no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the...
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management, here with my guy Mark, aka the Wagering Wizard, the Worldly Wizard, all the great stuff. This guy is a wizard because he is magic when it comes to predicting his NHL picks, and he is magic, and his sorcery comes from his unbelievable NHL and baseball betting model. You guys have got to check out Mark's newsletter to get all the great info, stats, goalie matchups, best bets, and more. All on his daily newsletter. The link is below. Free side, pay side, all that great stuff. Before we dig in, though, and recap our great night last night and dig into today's massive slate, got to tell you guys about the tools you need in your bettor's toolbox. If you're ready to take the next step in your betting career, you need the Juicero app. You can do everything you need as a pro bettor on there. You can sell your picks, track and verify your plays. You can meet and follow other really successful bettors. And then you can even follow some of their AI betting models, which are producing at an amazing clip. Not as good as Mark's, but still pretty good. The AI models over there have been great. Juicero really stepping up their game. So make sure you check out them. They automatically sync with your sports book, even offshore. It's unbelievable. And then if you guys want to learn how to produce those winning models like Mark has, you need to check out the Rhythm app. Rhythm is a sports betting app that fast tracks you to building sports betting models and teaching you how to build algorithms and being a real statistical based bettor. Sorry if I mumbled through that, but Rhythm is doing some really incredible things in teaching bettors today how to make profitable algorithms. So you need to check out the Rhythm app. Mark knows all about it. He'll touch on them too. Yeah, Mark, I'm going to throw it over to you so you could dig into today's slate. But I wanted to let everyone know they need to sign up for the Juicero and Rhythm apps first. But how was your night? How has your day been so far? And are you ready to cash some serious units on today's massive slate?
Absolutely. This is a bounce back day for me. We took a little bit of a beating last night. Couldn't believe Buffalo's just pathetic performance in the first period. So, listen, that was yesterday. We got a full game. We're not going to be confined to just 2 games today. But I will tell you, when it comes to the Rhythm app, you just heard Jacob talk about, learning algorithms and this is the easiest thing in the world to use. All you have to do is use the slide feature, and you get to really hone in a model that you think works best and that's important to you. And because you get 3 of them, you can use all 3 to make a single pick. So it's perfect. It's a great way to approach modeling.
I'll jump in here real quick. I know we don't have any graphics to explain this. We'll make a video for Rhythm. It's in the game plan. But what I want to tell you, what they make so simple on the Rhythm app is to build a model, you need factors. And these are larger groups of smaller groups of information. So you're going to put together basically the pieces of your puzzle into one group and tie those groups into other groups that you feel are also important factors. And all of those things are going to lead to your bet. I have gone on a really crazy streak, 15-4 with my CBB, my March Madness model. Really been profitable for me so far over there. During the show, I'll pull up my NBA ones on the Juicero app. But I'll touch on that too because my model for the first couple weeks has been killing it over there, and they really help walk you through it. And I'm so successful because they helped me walk me through it. And it's a free app to sign up for, so you're really missing out if you're not taking advantage of the Rhythm app. But what do you have for today's NHL slate? We know that's what people are here for.
Absolutely.
One more thing. Sorry, Mark. Before everyone digs in, if you're watching this live right now, you need to also make sure to grab Mark's best bets in his international show. We now have the Worldly Wizard Daily International Hockey Show. So make sure you guys check that out. It is on the channel, available right now. Mark does a great job, of course, but I wanted to make sure to shout that out before we do anything else.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, let's get into it. Yeah.
Right.
So for my first pick, we're going to go to Pittsburgh, who's taking on Charlotte. And we're going to take Pittsburgh on the 60-minute line here at minus 145. Look, I just think that we got 2 teams. Pittsburgh's playoff hopes are fading rapidly. And the Blue Jackets are already booking vacations. So it's, it's one of those types of games. And I think that with the Blue Jackets having lost 5 of their last 5 road games, they're just 1-8 in their last 9. The only win has come against San Jose. Exactly. So that's San Jose. Pittsburgh is not much. I mean, they're just 2-3 in their last 5 home games. Those 3 losses, though, have come to teams like Colorado, Dallas, and New Jersey. So we're not talking about, bottom tier teams. We're talking about top tier teams that they're losing to. Right. So I just really like this spot for Pittsburgh to take care of business within regulation against the Blue Jackets team that has given up.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was scared of taking this, because it is kind of a steep line. If I was leaning more towards the puck line in this one, didn't take it. One thing I might be looking towards, though, is the under in this game. A lot of these Penguin games recently have been trending towards the under. Sometimes it's because they're not doing their part. Sometimes the other team's not doing theirs. But one team that's not doing their part is definitely Columbus. So Columbus not scoring very many goals, are giving up a ton of goals, but with this Pittsburgh team, the way they're playing, are they really going to be able to take advantage of that? I could totally see this being like a 4-1 final. So do have a slight lean on the under here, but nothing official in this one.
All right.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go to Minnesota, speaking of the Sharks, where San Jose is facing a Minnesota team tonight. I'm taking Minnesota on the puck line at -1.5, and that's at -135. I just really like this spot for Minnesota. I mean, listen, there's only so many different ways that we can possibly say it. And San Jose is awful. Okay. Yep. They've just been horrible. In fact, in their last 5 games, they're 1-5 against the puck line. Or excuse me, 1-4 against the puck line. Mm-hmm. And the only time they covered was a 5-4 overtime loss to Chicago. So, I mean, you have 2 of the worst teams in the league battling out to an overtime tie. That's shocking news. Minnesota is losing ground in the wild card chase. And I think that they need to it's time to make something happen or start packing your bags because the season's over.
I think that the saying you're looking for is it's time to shit or get off the pot.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it. My mom and my parents watch the show all the time, and I would get a phone call the minute I said something like that.
Mark's parents,
and they watched
I'll take the lashing on that one.
All
Give
right.
me a call.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm still worried about getting grounded. So yeah, I look for Minnesota to get right here against San Jose.
Yeah, I love it. I'm on same play here, Minnesota -1.5. I'm also on the over in this one too, though. The over has hit 4 out of the last 5 San Jose games. We've also, like you just touched on, San Jose 0-8 straight up the last 8 overall, 0-7 in their last 7 on the road, and 3-7 their last 10 versus Minnesota. We haven't seen Minnesota games, trend towards the under all year, but not when they play San Jose. 5 out of the last 6 between these two have gone over, and the amount of goals San Jose has given up, 6, 5, 4, 8, 5, 6, 4, 7. I mean, it is ridiculous the amount of goals these guys are giving up. So I think if Minnesota takes advantage of that, needing a big win at home. So I think they blow out this team, and I think if San Jose can get 1, I think that's enough to get the over. So
yeah, I can tell you, to your point, San Jose in the last 14 days, they are allowing an average of 5.13 goals a game to the opposition. So it's outrageous. They very well, Minnesota could very well get to the over on their own tonight.
Yep.
Which would not be shocking.
Really?
We might see another Ottawa Buffalo game.
Yeah, right.
The next one I have for us is I'm going to take Nashville on the 60-minute line at -110. And I just think, look, I think that the Predators, I know that they have been on an absolute tear. They're 16-0-2 in their last 18 games. They're only 3 points behind Winnipeg in the Central Division. They are looking, every single point matters at this point. Juice Saros is 4-0 in his last 4 road starts. He's got a 92.8 save percentage, and he's only given up 1.98 goals a game. I just think that, facing an Arizona team who is just as awful as they're a bottom tier team, no question. I just think that the Predators really take it to them and get this thing done in regulation.
Yeah, I didn't take this because I have a lot of plays that I'm giving out on the show already. Hint, check the VIPs if you guys want some more plays. Just $5 a week on Juice Reel, my shameless plug. But really love this one for everything you said. Nashville has really stepped it up as a team this year. They've been playing great hockey pretty much all season long. And I think they could really make a deep run in the playoffs. And picking off these easy teams is a really great pathway for them to do it and to keep confidence building and all that great teamwork stuff. So love this one.
Well, it leads right into my second play on this game. So I have 2 on this game.
Yep.
I'm taking Arizona on the team total under 2.5, and that's at minus 110. In the last 4 games, they've only gone over this line once, and that was against Columbus. Nashville has not allowed teams to go over this. They've only allowed once in their last 6 games have a team gone over this line. I just really think that the defense for Nashville has been stifling. They're giving up 1.6 goals a game, for the month of March. And that's second only to Vancouver, who's only given up 1 goal a game on average for the month of March. So I just think that, I might even sprinkle, I got to be honest with you, I might even sprinkle a little something on a Saros shutout tonight is how much I like what Nashville's defense has been doing.
So question, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you like Saros shutout so much, what do you think about the total in this game?
Actually, that's a great question because the one thing that I've got this going to the under.
Sure. Usually when one team's not scoring, it's easy to trend towards the under. The only reason I ask is because this Arizona defense is so bad. Can Nashville put up 6 and do it themselves? I mean, is that like a real possibility? Like how much of a possibility it is in the Minnesota game?
So you've got Connor Ingram and who is starting for Arizona, and I'm just looking at his numbers here. So he's just 1-2 in his last 3 home games. He does have a decent save rate in those home games at 92.5. He's also not giving up a whole lot of goals either. So despite how bad Arizona has been, you know what, you brought up Buffalo. It's almost exactly like a Buffalo scenario in the sense that UPL has really kept Buffalo in games that they should never have been in the first place. And I think that Connor Ingram does the same thing for Arizona. He's kept them in games where really, just because he's been playing so well, they've been able to stay competitive in those games. But yeah, I just think that this screams under with 2 goalies who are fairly decent.
Sure.
One's just playing for a really bad team.
Yep. Love it. Anything else to say?
The only other thing I have is we're going to go to the NCAA men's hockey tournament, which is kicking off today.
Okay. How about you hold on to that one? We'll give that at the end of the show. So make sure to stick around to the end to get Mark's bonus NCAA March
it is
Madness. We actually have one of the regional tournaments like 5 minutes from my house. So I have some quite the list of plays for today. So I'm going to go ahead and dig into what I have. Feel free to hop in here, Mark, and give me your comments and questions, concerns, all that good stuff. We talked about this right before the show. I'm going to the Senators versus Blackhawks game, and I took the Senators here. A little steep, minus 175. This is a chalk heavy card. Didn't like them enough to take them on the puck line. Didn't trust them enough to take them on the 60-minute line, but I did like them enough to win. They're 7-13 straight up their last 20 games, but they are. I'm sorry, that was Chicago. They are Ottawa 6-3 straight up their last 9 games. 7 out of the last 7 games have hit over. Over is hit in 5 out of the last 6 games at home. But it is true that this Ottawa team has struggled mightily against Chicago, 10-0 straight up their last 10 games versus Ottawa. Chicago is, but the Chicago team just 2-18 straight up on the road. So the historical trends that these two teams facing each other, I'm taking those, throwing them right out the window. I think Ottawa would love nothing more than to end that streak that Chicago has on their home ice. So it won't be 11 wins in a row for Chicago. I think this Chicago team is just that bad that anyone except like Arizona and San Jose can beat them. So I'll probably bet against them every single game until the end of the season.
Yeah, it's funny because the only thing that streak that Chicago has against Ottawa, the only thing longer than that streak was Mesrick's streak of allowing a goal in the first period. He just broke that in his very last start. But he was 14 games allowing a goal in the first period. So if you like first period betting, I love it. That's certainly something to take a look at. You can get on the first period. Got to get back to that.
Are you looking for just the first period line?
Yeah.
Well, while you're on that, I will say, while you're looking for that I also made this game Chicago Ottawa over 6. That's an official play for me in this one too. For the reasons I just mentioned, first period over 1.5 is 135.
Oh, 135. And I was even looking at the Senators.
Senators.
Even on the puck line there at minus a half goal. That's at plus 125. That's not a bad play either to approach this. Chicago is awful. They are, if I believe, the absolute worst team. Hold on, I can confirm that for you real quick. They are the second worst team, only to the Sharks in goal differential in the first period. They're at minus 31 for a goal differential in the first.
Would you? What are your thoughts on a Blackhawks first period under? It's at plus 120.
Yeah, so the challenge with that is Forsberg in goal.
Sure.
And, he has, let me pump his name in here to give us. Yeah, Forsberg has allowed a goal in 7 of his games. So this might be a prime spot to take the over 1.5 in the first period.
Sure.
To do that, because you got 2 goalies who give up goals and give them up from the get-go. So
right.
he's got a 7-game streak going right now, allowing a goal in the first. And like I said, Mesrick is just coming off his last game. Otherwise, he'd be on a 15-game streak.
Great. Love it. Moving on, I'm going to this Islanders versus a Florida game. This is such a big card. It's got a lot of really good games on it. My model has this as a 3.4 to 2.8 victory for Florida. And I agree. I'm on the Florida minus 183 money line, and I'm also on this game over 6. The Islanders 1-7 straight up their last 8, 2-6 their last 8 versus Florida, 1-4 their last 5 on the road. Florida, who has been struggling a bit lately, 1-5 straight up their last 6, is 1-4 straight up at home. They have been playing, not the easiest schedule. Boston, the Rangers, Nashville, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Dallas, Calgary, Philly, and the Devils. It's the last 10 games for this team. I mean, that is quite the gauntlet. The easiest team they played on there, they played Philly twice, and even Philly's been playing better lately. I mean, otherwise, that's like playing the top 5 teams in the league twice. I mean that you're playing the tops of everything, offense and defense, for the last month. I call it an acceptable loss. I'm not mad at them for some of these games. They made a good show of them. They got shut out twice, once by Nashville, once by Carolina. But in all these other games, in the losses, they were at least competitive. Usually just 1 goal loss, if that, maybe 2. A lot of those ended with an empty netter to push it to 2, so it was closer than the final score would say. But yeah, really think this game hits the over. And I really like Florida to get it done. Same kind of situation, though, that I had with the Senators. Don't trust them enough to take the puck line. don't trust them enough to take them on the three-way, but I do trust them enough to get the victory in the long run. So I'm okay paying the juice to make sure we don't lose. And yeah, that's all for this one. Any thoughts?
No, I just think that, they played a bruising game against Boston, and it was just, you can tell that they're trying to get right in time for the playoffs. And I think that this is a perfect spot for them to build a little momentum for that run. So yeah, I really like that play. And yeah, I don't trust them enough to not get this done in regulation. So yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, a couple more. A lot of my plays today are correlated. So I'm going to the Detroit versus Carolina game. And obviously I'm all over Carolina here. Carolina's been playing some of the best hockey in hockey. Even this Detroit team, who, let's be realistic, is not very good. They have a better record than I think they let on, 36-29-7 over the season. Makes them look a lot better than I think they really are. But the Canes here at home is just a different kind of animal. 9-3 straight up the last 12 overall. A lot of games have been trending towards the under because their defense has been just so stifling. But Carolina 16-4 straight up their last 20 versus the East. So Carolina owning the East right now. And this Detroit team 3-10 straight up their last 13, just 1-4 straight up their last 5 versus Carolina. We've also seen Detroit 4 out of the last 5 games have hit the over. So we've seen them give up some goals, not really do much to contribute, but maybe a goal or two here or there. I think this Carolina team, though, who has given up goals in all but 2 of the last 10 games, will probably let Detroit sneak 1 or 2 by here, which is going to help us get to the over. So I like the Hurricanes minus 1.5 on the puck line here, and I like the game over 6.
Yeah, I think that this is a really great play for you right there. Detroit's in their 0-6-1 in their last 7 road games.
Yep.
They're giving up 4.86 goals a game in those. The Hurricanes have been playing lights out at home. I mean, just lights out at home.
Yeah.
They're allowing 1.71 goals a game. I really think, again, it's a scenario we saw it last night. Where teams get down big and they start going for the empty net. They pull the goalie trying to get to close that gap a little bit with like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game.
That's a lot of time. Time to pull a goalie.
Great call, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then you get teams that are just give me goals. So I really like this spot. I think that Carolina wins handedly. And I really think that we're going to see a lot of goals, but mostly from the Carolina side.
Yeah, totally agree here. This Carolina team is just going to keep banging on the net the whole game, and I don't think Detroit has anywhere near the pieces to slow them down. Moving on, I'm going to this Edmonton game, the Kings versus Edmonton. I think we're getting a really great price on Edmonton here, minus 155. Nobody on the injury report. Can't really understand why this is so low. Excuse me. I know that the Kings have been on a bit of a run. Winners of 4 out of the last 5. But one of those was Chicago, Minnesota, Tampa Bay. They played a close one too. Vancouver, they played a close one too. The Edmonton wins. They've played some tough teams lately. We've seen a lot of goals from them. Just beat Winnipeg in Winnipeg. Lost a close one in Ottawa to Ottawa. But we saw 8 goals in that game. Lost in Toronto, but 9 goals in that game. Beat Buffalo handedly 8-3. Had a good win against Montreal 3-2. So this Edmonton team is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Is just ticking off wins, kind of cruising along, waiting for playoff time. But somebody's got to win this one, and I think that the Oilers are the more well-rounded, talented team across the board, and I don't think the Kings are going to have the pieces to stop them.
Right. No,
how's that for a breakdown?
That's a great breakdown. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't have anything on this one. I think that you're seeing a much closer game simply because of the starting goalies. And I'm just making sure that before we get confirmation.
I got Talbot and Skinner.
Yeah, that's who expected. Nothing been confirmed yet on either one of them. But I think that's why you're getting such a really why we're getting a great price on that Edmonton money line.
Yep.
It's just because two lights out goalies right now that are
Sure.
both playing very well and stopping teams from scoring. So I think it's be a close game.
I think that I think this is going to be a little bit more open than people think. All these goalies, they hit the point where they let a couple by, and I think that this might be that game for Talbot at least. So I have two more. Actually, no, just one more play. So, I was gonna give this out as the next step in our ladder play, right? So I refired on day 6, the 25 units to make up the day before. Now I'm on 49.6 units, so a 50 unit play. But you said something earlier that made me hesitate, Mark, and it kind of makes my stomach turn because I have already put this bet in personally. But you said that the Vancouver Canucks are allowing teams to average just 1 goal per game over
I got
the
bad
last
news
month.
for you.
I've been thinking about this, right? And
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it all show. So, this has been on my mind. But the one thing to remember about this trend is it's not just Dallas scoring the goals. They are also allowing goals to be scored in the second period. So against this Vancouver team, I think that if they don't allow Dallas to score goals, I think Vancouver can cover the two themselves. And no guts, no glory. We're refiring on this day 7, going for the new car. I feel like probably about 250 units would be a good down payment. So a few more days. But we are getting there. If you guys are doing this challenge, nobody jump out the window. Let's be realistic. If you're looking for a good solid bet tonight, this probably isn't going to be the one. But if you want to take the jump and hold on to your butts because
Right.
it's going to be a tight one.
Well, and in all honesty, I mean, this thing has hit how many times? Like 25 out of the last 27 or 28.
I think we're at 27 out of 29 right now.
Yeah. So it's the books have finally, after about 25, 26 days of that hitting, have finally adjusted to where it's no longer just 1.5 anymore. It's now
But it's crazy
2.
right now. Bovada, then this I should have known. This is a scary one because at Bovada right now, over 1.5 is at minus 170, and over 2 is at plus money, plus 110. So I mean that's a good score if it fucking cashes tonight. So
right.
That was why I was thinking of dumping the whole 50 on it.
Well, I can also tell you this, that because you're playing the second period as opposed to the first period, the likelihood of that bet hitting is tilted more in your favor. The Canucks have been absolutely lights out in the first period. They haven't allowed, they're not allowing teams to score. They are also, let's see here. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 7 of their last 8 games, they've held teams scoreless in the first period. Casey DeSmith is literally the driving force behind that.
So I will say, not to cut you off. Sorry. Vancouver, while they have shut teams out in the first period like that, they are also number 3 ranked for first period over 1.5. Currently 6-4 the last 10 and 62.5% on the season first period over.
That's because they have an 8-game streak going right now.
Okay.
With of at least 1 goal. In those 8 games, they've gone multiple goals in 4 of them. So yeah, they literally are hitting the over by themselves in most cases.
Yep.
And so I'm glad that you're not playing the first period because I'd be like, that's a real, I'd be the bearer of bad news. But hey, I'm all in for the second.
But I'll tell you, even for the second period, Vancouver 6-4. Currently on a 6-4 run on the season. They've hit at 69.44% second period over for themselves. I mean, just that alone, would make me want to take this on a regular day. Forget about a big day like this. and we still see Dallas on an 8-2 run currently, 76.71% hitting for the year. I mean, just stellar numbers for the second period over. So I think we get it in this one. That's going to be my last play for today, though. So Mark, why don't you go ahead and let us know what your bonus NCAA March Madness pick is?
You got it. You got it. So the basketball is not the only NCAA collegiate tournament going on, and we also have a Sweet 16 in the men's hockey that kicks off tonight. I am taking Denver, Minnesota, and Boston University all on the money line. And listen, the juice on all of these three teams, Denver's the number 1 seed in the Springfield, Mass region, and they're facing Massachusetts. And while Massachusetts is probably going to have that hometown buzz going with it and pulling for the underdog here, Denver is just way too talented at every position on the ice to lose this one. Boston University and Minnesota, the top 2 seeds of the Sioux Falls regional, they're not going to have much of an issue getting past this first round, especially with Boston University playing RIT and Minnesota facing Omaha. While both very good teams, they're not in the same league. So if you combine all three together, you're going to get a plus 131, which is a nice little parlay to hit. As far as looking at the futures in this, it's very interesting. So Boston College is at plus 250 to win the entire thing. Boston University is at plus 500, and Denver is at plus 650. The interesting tidbit here is Boston University and Denver are in the same brackets. Oh. So whoever wins that is most likely going to be facing Boston College. It's definitely worth a sprinkle on both Boston University and Denver, as Boston University actually beat Boston College in their conference championship. And that's how BU got into the tournament, was the automatic bid. Boston College got there because they were the number 1 team in the country.
Got it. So, very cool. All right. Well, hey, let's go ahead and recap our best bets for today.
You got it. So I am all over Pittsburgh on the 60-minute line. I'm taking Minnesota on the puck line at minus 1.5. Nashville on the 3-way money line, the same 60-minute line. And along with that game, we're going to see Arizona not be able to score more than 3 goals on that. And for the NCAA hockey that kicks off tonight, we're taking Denver, Minnesota, and Boston on the money line for a nice plus 131.
Yes, we are. There you go. And let people know where they can find you, the newsletter, all that stuff.
Absolutely. So you can find me right there at Better Days Ahead, and that's BETTOR, Days Ahead. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, at the same handle. You can find me on the socials there at Better Days Ahead. Yep. You can also find a daily article. I have 2 articles that go out. One is called The Wizard's Almanac. The link is in my bio, and the link is right down below. You can sign up. There's a free portion and a subscription portion. The subscription portion, you're going to get all the Sims data, the day-to-day, the goalie head-to-head sheets, the money line predictions, the puck line predictions, the whole thing. And then you're going to find a daily article for me on Fansided, the NHL betting site, where I usually give out my best team prop play.
Yeah, love it. And don't forget, Mark now has a daily show, The Worldly Wizard, where he covers international hockey. So you guys don't have to wait for this show to come out, since there are such early games for international hockey. We want to make sure you guys get the best lines possible, because we know that the Pick Management Network moves lines. Maybe not, but we like to see Mark make an impact out there, and he does a great job. That's why he has the Worldly Wizard now every morning coming out. So keep an eye out for that. I'll go ahead and give you guys my best bets, and we'll get you guys out of here. I am all over Senators minus 175, Blackhawks Senators over 6, Islanders Florida over 6, Florida minus 183, Hurricanes minus 1.5, Detroit Carolina over 6, San Jose Minnesota over 6, Minnesota minus 1.5, Oilers minus 155, and Dallas Vancouver second period over 2 goals. You guys can find me daily right here on the NHL Betting Insiders, on the NBA Betting Insiders. Later today, we will have a new live episode of the MLS Betting Insiders for the Week 6 MLS slate. And then next week, Betting the Pitch Europe will return with me and Soccer Ash as we look to get back to business with international break ending. Make sure, again, you guys, if you are looking to take the next step in your betting career, sign up for the Juiceful app. It's a one-stop shop for guys who are looking to be pro bettors. Track your plays, get verified, sell them, track other people, whatever you want to do. It's all available for you right on the Juiceful app. And don't forget, it also syncs with offshore sportsbooks, the only bet syncing app to do that. And then, like Mark and I have been talking about this whole time, make sure to check out the Rhythm app. It will fast track you to being able to build your own successful, profitable sports betting models. They partnered up with Kyle Kuzma for the AI-generated bracket challenge that they have. They gave out some free brackets that did fantastic in the early rounds. And with March Madness starting later today, we look forward to seeing the success that they bring for these next few rounds. Otherwise, you guys can find me across all socials at Pick Management. This has been the NHL Betting Insiders. We will see you later.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blind